Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, I will be talking about your level of English. Is your level of English good enough to go and study in the US? If we have never met before, my name is Radmila and I'm a US education expert that helps students from all over the world go into the United States universities and get amazing education, get a large scholarship, apply and get accepted. So every Sunday, I'm hosting Facebook Lives when I talk about the topics that you ask me to talk about. I'm talking about a lot of useful things like applications, your level of English, scholarships, and anything else. So if you are not yet signed up for my Facebook Lives, please do so right now, because if you plan to be a student in the United States universities, this is a lot of useful information. If you're not signed up yet, definitely make sure to be signed up. So today, I'm going to be answering one of the most important questions that a lot of students are asking me about. It's what level of English do you need to have in order to go to the US and study there? So first of all, I'm really curious, what do you think is your level of English? Comment below. Do you think your English is good enough to go to the United States universities and study there? Please let me know, very curious. I'm going to be answering your questions right now. Also, if you have any questions about this topic, about TOEFL, about any test of English, please let me know in the comments below. I will be answering a few of your questions at the end. So, okay, let's dive in right now. So what do American universities expect of your English? How good should it be? Your English must be on a quite high level. I'm not gonna lie, they expect you to have a really good level of English for you to be able to understand everything that is happening around you. So basically, they want you to be able to understand the content of the class, the content of the course. They want you to be able to participate in the program, to contribute to discussions in class. They want you to be able to be active. And in order to be active in a class and in school in general, your English needs to be on a quite high level. So they want to make sure that you're able to follow the entire course of the program and you're able to succeed in this program. They want to make sure that you're able to submit a good, well-written paper and that the language will not be a problem for you. So before you start your application process, you already need to make sure that your English level is already on that good level, because once you start your preparations for the application, you won't have enough time to improve your English. Once you start your preparation for the tests, English tests, you're going to be spending a lot of time only on improving your understanding of the test, on how you can succeed in a test, but you're not going to be concentrated on improving your English. So this should be a completely separate time that you dedicate only to your English. Hi guys, thank you so much for commenting. Intermediate level is quite good. It means that you can improve it to upper intermediate and it's not going to be that big of a difference. So that's already good that you know your level and you know what you can work with. Hi Sadula, welcome to the group, to the video. So what I'm trying to say is that your English level needs to be good enough to understand everything that will be happening with you in a class. For example, right now, if you can follow along to these Facebook Lives that I'm hosting right now, because the level of English is a little bit lower than you would expect from a university in the US. So if you're able to follow me right now, you understand everything that I'm saying, you're able to follow the conversation, you have questions, you understand basically the entire topic that I'm talking about, this already means that your level of English is quite good. This means that you will need to just improve the terminology of the specific program that you want to study in. but your English is already quite good. I also want to say that when I was applying, so I am not a native English speaker. I already mentioned I'm originally from Ukraine. My native languages are Ukrainian and Russian, and I was studying English just like you guys for many, many years, trying to improve my level of English. It was really hard to make sure that I am fluent and understand everything. And when I was applying to universities in the US, I was taking TOEFL, and I thought TOEFL, which is the English test, the universities require you to take. And I thought that I'm quite fluent, that I will be able to understand everything in the university in the US, but I was still not that great, honestly, because it still took me at least one semester to be completely fluent in class. It still took me a lot of time to be able to read a lot of English texts in one day in order to prepare my exams, in order to contribute to discussion in class. So I thought I was really, really good. My English level was really good, but at the end, I still needed it to be improved. So if I had spent that time before I applied to university, maybe it would have been much easier for me to study, because I would already have spent that time to improve English before I go to the US. So the time to start your preparation, to start improving your English, is actually right now. Please stay until the end of this video, because I will be giving you a few tips on how you can improve your English without spending even $1 on it. Honestly, it's all within your hands, so wait until the end, because I'll be giving you some tips on this topic. So why is your level of English so incredibly important? It's important because if you can't understand what's happening in class, you are not going to be able to succeed in class. It means that you will fail some subjects, you will fail an exam, you will not be able to understand professor in class, contribute to discussion. You will also miss a lot of opportunities around you just because you didn't understand something in class, or you couldn't read a lot of information in one go. So your level of English is extremely important. And also, the better your English is, the higher ranking school you will be able to apply. So the higher you will be able to score on the English test, it means that you can apply for better universities. And obviously, if you want to get the best possible education in the US, you should aim to get there. Oh, I see so much participation. Welcome everyone. Hi Praful, it's nice to see you again. I think you're joining every video, so it's really nice. Thank you so much. Hi Amiruddin, Muhammad, Berlin, Leah. Thank you so much for joining in. Just drop your questions or any comments that you have. I'll be happy to reply to them. So if you want to become a student in the US universities on the next year, you need to start improving your English right now. So, okay, right now I described a little bit of a level of English that you are expected to have for American universities. Comment below, where do you think your English is? Do you understand everything that I'm saying in these Facebook Lives? How do you assess your English? Is everything I'm saying to you clear and understandable? Let me know. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about the tests that you will need to take in order to go to the United States universities. So almost every university will require you to take either TOEFL, which is a test of English as a foreign language, or IELTS, which is International English Language Testing System. So there's TOEFL and there is IELTS. There are two different tests, and mostly American universities prefer you to take TOEFL. This is more for an American education system. So these tests, a lot of students ask me whether you can go and study in the United States universities without taking these tests. You will most probably won't be able to do this. You will have to take one of these tests in order to prove that you are ready to become a student in that university. All universities, almost all universities, require to take these tests. This is a mandatory and entering test for all international students. Sometimes university will allow you to not take this test. However, in this case, you will need to prove that your level of English is already extremely high. And in this situation, they will allow you to waive this requirement and not take the test only if, for example, you have already studied in an English program, or you have been living in an English-speaking country, and then they will set up an interview with you over Skype, for example, for you to show that your level of English is really, really high and you really don't need to take TOEFL or IELTS. This can happen, but it almost never does. It almost never happens. And just imagine a situation that you need to apply to 10 different universities, and only one university gives you a waiver, allows you not to take the test. But you still need to take the test for the other 9 universities. So the easiest thing to do is just to prepare your best just to take this test, because you cannot rely on universities waiving these requirements. 99% of all situations, universities will require you to take this test. So do not even ask this question of whether these requirements can be waived. Just start preparing your English to take the tests in the future, because this will save you so much time. Okay, the next thing is that all these tests are testing 4 different areas of your English. This is reading, listening, speaking, and writing. They're testing these sections in a little bit of a different way, so you might want to look into TOEFL comparison of a TOEFL and IELTS and decide which one is better for you, because the structure of the test is quite different, but honestly the essence isn't. So if your English is quite high, if your level of English is quite high, it doesn't really matter what test you're going to take, because you're going to score quite well anyways. So as I said, TOEFL is more preferable by American universities. So what is a good score for TOEFL and IELTS? TOEFL has the maximum of 120. 120 is the maximum that you can score. A good score is considered from 90 to 100. So you can find universities where you can take, where they require you either 80. Some universities will require you to score 110. So it's very different. I recommend just going to the website of university of your interest and seeing what they are requiring. But if you aim to score at 100 out of 120, this is a really, really high level of English, and you will be able to apply to most universities. For TOEFL, for IELTS, the maximum is 9, and you'll be able to apply to most universities if you score 6.5. 6.5 is a really good basis of English that will show universities that you are able to take an entire course in a foreign language, in English. So go to the website and check out website of the university and check out what they are requiring. So I want to be honest with you, and I will tell you that I personally took TOEFL twice. I wanted to score 100 because law schools, all the best law schools in the US were accepting starting from 100. So the first time I scored 98, and it is okay because I had enough time to retake the test, and then I scored 104. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that make sure that you start your preparation on time, because if something happens that you do not get the desired score, you will be able to retake this test. Because my first test I took in January, and I was applying by December, I was able to retake my test in August or September. I had a lot of time not only to retake the test, but also to improve the level of English. And this is the most important thing, because at the end, it's not about how you score, it's how you are able to understand what's happening around you. Because if you are not able to understand what's happening around you in American university, you're just gonna go home at the end of the program. Okay, now I will take a few moments to talk about how you can improve your English without spending even $1 on it. So I know the first and the most basic thing is that you need to surround yourself with English language in everything you do. If you're watching news channels, start watching it in English. If you're reading a newspaper, start reading in English. You like reading books, then just start reading all the books that you like in English. If you're watching TV shows and you're not if you're watching TV shows with maybe in your native language, start watching them in English. You need to surround yourself with English language in everything you do. And it's really, really hard because you're living in a different country where everyone speaks a different language. So I do understand that it's really hard, but it's necessary if you want to improve your English. You can join some classes or some speaking cafes where you can just practice with other students or other people who are just interested in improving their language. You can find a friend online who would be willing to practice with you, who would just let you speak English with them and you can practice with them. Or you can find a pen pal that you will just write your letters to each other. There are so many opportunities, but the point is that you need to start acting now and just think about your daily routine, what you're doing throughout the day, and where you can incorporate English into your day. Just start replacing things that you're doing in your native language with English. Start journaling in English. Start writing some stories in English. So many things you can do. But the main point is that you need to have a desire to do so. So to recap, your English must be good enough to understand everything that is happening around you. Otherwise, you will not be able to succeed in American universities. You need to improve all 4 sections of English. You need to improve reading English, writing, speaking, and listening. All of them are equally important, so you cannot decide to choose more, to spend more time on one and not on the other one, because all of them are equally important. Start preparing now before you dive into the test, because preparing for the test will not improve your English level. And also check out what are the scores that you need to get on the websites of universities. And also just surround yourself with English. Start doing things in English. Start reading in English, watching movies in English. Incorporate English in your daily routine, and I am sure that in time you will see how your language is going to progress. So if you would like to talk to me about your chances of getting accepted, if you would like to talk to me about what's your level of English, how you can improve, what you need to do not hesitate to book me for a private consultation. I'm so happy to talk to all my students and help you get into the university of your dreams. I will leave a link in the description, so if you're interested in booking my consultation, please do not hesitate to do so. Also, if you would like me to answer your questions at the end of my next Facebook Live, comment them under this video. I will pick the most important, the most interesting questions, and I will answer them in my next Facebook Live. So be sure to comment below. If you think that someone else might need to watch this video, someone who's also interested in applying abroad to American universities, tag them. Please like, subscribe, comment below. I really value your feedback. Let me know what you think about it. And I will see you all next week at the same time, same place. So have a good week.